All right. Are we ready to go?
Ready to go.
All right, guys. Help us welcome Jody Simpson. Hi, Jody. Good morning.
Good morning.
And Doctor. Dr. Camir. You have to put the D
for
the name in there because
Yeah.
because when you work so hard, forget your papers. You know what I mean? You have to refer to him by proper title, yes?
Guys.
Welcome. Oh, by the way, Dr. Camir Ricketts is, according to Oliver Samuels, a compilation biologist. I saw that. And I almost died. All right, guys. So Dr. Camir Ricketts is a bioinformatics scientist who works at Nvidia, and Jody Simpson is a solutions engineer at Google. Now, I don't know what any of those two things mean. So before we get started, Jody, what is a solutions engineer? What does that even mean?
It means that we solve problems.
So it's a fancy term for problem
solver.
Yes. But more technically speaking, it's kind of like a hybrid between a software engineer and a product manager.
Oh, okay.
So you get to slide on that gradient. You get to scope the solution, find the requirements for it, find the product requirements for it, and then you also get to build it out. That's the role in a nutshell.
Oh, okay. And Dr. Ricketts, what is a bioinformatics scientist? That's a mouthful.
Yeah, I mean, at Nvidia, a bioinformatics scientist, we really focus on bringing kind of Nvidia's computing power and artificial intelligence to the healthcare space. So a lot of the stuff that we are focusing and building and researching is how we can now use what we've learned in computational science, in computational algorithms and so on to solve biological problems. So whether that mean using artificial intelligence and AI for like image analysis to apply that to like MRIs or X-rays, or building tools to, in a clinical setting, be able to look at a patient and identify, really quickly where the mutations are in their genome, say for a particular genetic disease, and then how do we then treat that. So a lot of what we do is merging that the computational approaches with genetics, with statistics, to then solve like real healthcare problems.
So that's like three fields, because that's like computer, science, mathematics, and, well, to be quite honest, mathematics and computer is science, but it's like biology,
science.
Yeah, so it's like biology, math, and tech. All rolled into that's
in different flavors. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's amazing. Where are you guys from in Jamaica? I know Camir is from Montego Bay.
Yeah, man, Mobe.
Where in Mobe are you from, Camir?
I am originally from Catching, but now we live in Anchovy.
And Jody, where in Jamaica are you originally from?
I am from St. Mary.
St. Mary. All right. So guys, they're not just they're not first or second generation Jamaicans. They grew up here, right? They just studied. So it was your tertiary education that you got overseas, right, guys?
Yeah.
Okay. So Camir, when did you leave Jamaica to study?
I left Jamaica after sixth form at Herbert Morrison. So that was in 2011.
Oh, okay. So you've only been away for like 10 years or
so. Mm-hmm.
Jody, when did you leave?
I left right in the middle of sixth form, so I didn't finish it. That was in 2013.
Okay. So you guys have not been away that long, but y'all have been doing things. Y'all have been.
You can't waste the time. Can't waste the time. Move quick.
You guys have been doing things, because Jody, where did you study overseas, and how did you get into Google?
Yeah.
I started out at a community college. I went to a community college in Manhattan as a part of the City University of New York system. And after then, I completed a 2-year degree in computer science, and I got a full scholarship to finish up the 4-year degree at New York University. And while I was at NYU, I got recruited by Google to work as a solution engineer upon graduation.
Okay, so what was the attraction to tech for you?
So it's funny, right? Like most Jamaicans, when you're going to school, your parents say you're going to become a lawyer or you're going to become a doctor. So when I went to sixth form, I was doing law. I was doing Cape Law.
Yeah.
And then this legalese, it wasn't for me, and I didn't really want to be stuck doing it. And so when I moved to the States, I just did an inventory of the things I was good at in high school. And IT was one of those subjects. And I just took it. I did some research and I saw that, yes, there is a gap to be filled and I could be one of the persons to fill that gap. And I started it and then I stayed because of all the issues that came up that I became aware of in the tech industry and that I became passionate about. And so that's really how I got in tech. I just did an inventory of what I was doing while I was in school.
So it was more a practical approach for you, like a process of elimination kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And where the money resides, right?
Yes.
You know.
Yeah. And I really like that as an honest answer, because so many of us don't know what it is that we really want to do. And you're fed with this story or this narrative that, you know, you have a purpose and this one thing that you're supposed to do and you're going to find it. Find it where? Find it how? Pluck it from the sky. So I can relate.
Camir, first of all, what did you study? When you left Jamaica to go overseas, where did you go to study? And what was the attraction to tech for you?
So I studied microbiology when I got to University of Georgia. So I left Jamaica, went to University of Georgia for my bachelor's, studied microbiology there, and minor in computer science, because I was still very much, you know, on the fence. Because in my mind, you either go and be, if you're interested in science, you go be a scientist, like a biologist or something like a microbiologist. Or if you're interested in, you know, tech and computer science, then you can go be a software engineer. And I didn't know which one of those to pick. So I just figured I'll just try to pursue both of them until I figure out which one I want to pick. And then while in college, I discovered that there was a field that combined both of them, which I thought was great. Like I don't have to pick anymore, right? I can combine my interests. So while in college, really discovered computational biology and bioinformatics. So after college, decided I'm going to do a PhD in that, because my approach was just, you know, if I'm going to do something, I'm just going to go all the way in one shot, get the highest degree I can, so that afterwards nobody can tell me anything or say I can't get a particular opportunity or role because of politics or because of this piece of paper or so on. So I said I was just going to, you know, get the PhD out of the way in one go. So after I finished the bachelor's, I skipped my master's, went straight to PhD. And then in terms of my attraction to tech, I always, once I get into this field and once I got into cancer genomics and that kind of stuff, I was really angling, or my focus was always going to be in biotech. So I honestly never really saw myself at a classical tech company. I was always intending to go into bioinformatics. And up until, you know, pretty much maybe a month before I made my final decision on where I wanted to work, I was heading to a biotech company until Nvidia kind of reached out to me and was like, hey, you know, would love to talk to you about stuff. And I really didn't have a true appreciation for what they were doing within kind of healthcare at the time. So because I really wanted to tackle problems in healthcare. So that's why my mind was on biotech companies. And, you know, I didn't really, my perspective of tech companies was that it was more of a fascination with them and healthcare, like, oh, we can do a certain thing, but they didn't really want to really drive that field forward or do new stuff, right? So when I kind of got interested or introduced to them and their team, I really realized kind of how seriously they're taking it, and that's kind of how I ended up at one of the, you know, classic tech companies rather than a biotech company.
Okay.
Awesome. All right. Cool. So, it is interesting because still don't understand anything that Camir does. I mean, I have a basic idea. I have a basic idea, but you know, you guys are young. How old are you, Camir?
27.
How are you, Jody?
I'm 25.
So you guys are first of all, let me
young,
ask.
gifted, and black. Woo, woo, woo.
is it that you was going overseas to college a part of the plan to maybe get into one of these international organizations, or was just not on your mind? It was just a happenstance kind of thing, because it is great how it worked out, that being over there in that space, studying at a university over there, provided you with these kinds of opportunities and more access.
Jody can go first. Ladies first.
I'd say for me, when I was in sixth form, I was not sure of what after sixth form looked like. So I wasn't sure if I was going to go to the university in Jamaica. And at the time, I believe there were some scholarships to go and study in China, which I had applied for. And so to me, it was either two of those outcomes. Either I was going to study at the university in Jamaica, or I was actually going to go away to China to study. And so it just so happened that my family migrated, like all of my family migrated. And so I had the opportunity to start over. And that's how everything else is kind of history. But it was not on my plate that, yes, I'm going to migrate and go to college. It was just either I go to and work at Google. So no, it just happened. It just happened that way.
Okay.
Yeah. And for me, it was I was intending to study in Jamaica, truly, and my family, our family, we don't really have a lot of family who live abroad or so on. So the prospect of going abroad to study was not really a big thing on our priority list. It was just late, in sixth form, when that time came around, there was a professor at a university in Jamaica that told my mom, hey, they met me and kind of, knew of the stuff I've done thus far. And he encouraged my mom to try to push me to study abroad. Right. And I was iffy on that, because the whole idea of all my friends were going to UU Tech and all that. So I was I'm gonna try to go with the vibes where all my friends going to Kingston. So and I really had no context. I didn't have a lot of people to lean on in terms of figuring out that process. Yeah. And things. So it was a stressful time trying to figure out how to get to the US. Right. We didn't have a lot of SAT classes in Mobile at the time, or I had to travel to go take the SAT exams or so on. But that he kind of put on board, so I ended up applying to one US school. So the plan was if I get into the one school I'm gonna apply to the US, then I gotta tell myself I should have done that.
That's
if not,
Christ, come here. You apply to one school?
Yeah, one school. And if you get in, then sorry for work. If not, then I stay home.
And you got in.
And I got in. And I didn't get any scholarships or anything like that. I think a lot of people assume that I got some full ride scholarship out of the board or something. My parents kind of paid my first year out of the way, but I told them if them do what them can to support me. Once me land, me go make sure so them not have to pay for the rest of my schooling. So that was my singular goal. As soon as me get on campus, me discover them have an honors program, which I didn't even know, because the information divide or the gap is so when I'm applying from Jamaica, especially back then when we have to buy international credit for college, it wasn't easy for email and say let me jump on a Zoom with one of these academic councils. I have to buy international credit, borrow my mother phone, call them to try to figure out stuff. So there's a lot of stuff I realized I didn't even know about, before I applied. So once I got on campus, did everything I could to eventually get a full ride, and that paid for the rest of the way. But that was kind of my journey.
Oh wow. All right. So that's amazing. But what's even more amazing about you guys, Monique, about Jody and Dr. Ricketts. I love it.
That both of them actually have projects that they give back to the community in different ways. So Jody, could you tell us a little bit more about the Bloom project? What is it? What do you guys do there?
Yes. So the Bloom Project is a 13-week initiative where participants will get the opportunity to create a tech-enabled solution. They'll receive mentorship from both technical and non-technical mentors. And they'll also get the opportunity to network with industry professionals and experts. And at the end of this, they get to demo whatever it is that they created during the program to investors. They'll get real-time feedback, and they'll also have the opportunities to win cash and non-cash awards during this process.
Love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. Is this the program? Is it open to Jamaicans as well?
Of course, it's open to Jamaicans. It's open to Jamaicans. It's only open to folks in the Caribbean, and Jamaicans are a big part of that.
Love it, love it. And when does this launch, or do you do it on a recurring basis?
So applications are currently open until June 30th, and it's going to start in August, and it's going to run until November 19th. And as you can see here, I work on this initiative with two other amazing folks who are based out of Jamaica. That's Randy, who is a software engineering test, and above is Garrett Thomas, who is a software developer. They're both really amazing people.
Absolutely love it. Thank you, Jody. Camir, Minds of Jamaica. Tell us a little bit more of the Minds of Initiative and what that's about.
Yeah, so Minds of Initiative really came out of my observation that a lot of students and a lot of young professionals are kind of lacking or don't have easy access to people that they can rely on to get guidance in terms of how do I get to where they're, how do I get some career mentorship? You know, what are opportunities that might be available to me that, you know, I wouldn't have known if somebody didn't put on my radar. Because career mentorship has been big in kind of my
journey,
my journey and my progression throughout my career. And I really realized that, especially depending on where you are in Jamaica, the kind of people you have access to, the kind of people you get to talk to and have these kind of conversations with, it differs greatly, right? If you grow up and go to a Kingston school versus Mobile versus Clarendon versus St. Thomas and so on. So we really want to create a platform that made it easy for people, students, high school, university students, young professionals, to tap into kind of the knowledge equity of the country, right? The professionals that we have out there that who have walked out that path before, and create it open, because I'm a big fan of lowering barriers to entry, right? So I didn't want to create the next thing where we because of how strict we are, how picky we are, and how strict we are in terms of like what it takes to enter into Minds of Initiative. We can then tout and we have the the brightest mentees or whatever. Like I'm not interested in any of those things. I didn't want to restrict cohort sizes, so we only accept 20 per year to seem like we're more selective. So we really wanted to focus on creating an open platform where if at 11 o'clock tonight you have a question in your mind and you want to ask a physician and you're a medical student and you're just curious about what it's like being a woman in medicine in Jamaica or in the Caribbean or wherever, you can jump on the platform, create an account, and start asking those questions, right? You don't have to submit some application and wait a week and so on. So that's really the core of what we wanted to do, was create a platform for career mentorship, and then around that now build out opportunities. So not only get the mentorship, but then you get opportunities to really explore different fields. So here on the screen you have one of our flagship programs, the Bioinformatics virtual programs, because that's basically the stuff that I do, and I know that's not something you can get exposed to in any tangible way in Jamaica right now as a high school, definitely as a high school student, and not even as an undergraduate student in Jamaica. So we work with a company here, organized here in the US, to build out these 1 week projects where students in Jamaica can work with scientists like me or scientists from Cornell Med or Harvard Med and all over on real kind of projects. I have a few of them there: metagenomics, transcriptomics, a lot of these things they've never heard of. And we take students who've never done any of this before in their life, and by the end of the week, they've done a complete project, real analysis. We give every student access to a HPC, high performance compute instance in the cloud, where they're doing this analysis, doing the same kind of things that I do, and they get real tangible experience to it. And the cool thing about it is we've had students who've gone through it, Jamaican students, and then they email me after and they're like, yo, didn't know that this was a thing. No, this is what I think I want to do. Can I meet with you to get some advice? I'm a first year at UA. What kind of courses should I be doing? What kind of things? And that's one. Not every student going to do something like this and say, oh, this is what I want to do. But you're exposing people. You're letting them know that this is something that is available to them.
That is possible.
Exactly. Just like that professor did for me years ago. And he just mentioned it in a conversation. And now we're giving them. So we do a lot of stuff. With the career mentorship is important, but then all the other things around it as well that is super useful. And we have a great team there that we're working with to expand and grow, especially in the coming months.
So Camir, how can because you're mostly in high schools? Are you also in universities?
Yeah, we're not in when I say in, so we're not based in
Meaning,
any
who
high
are
school. Yeah.
you catering
Yeah,
to?
gotcha. Yeah, so high school and university students and even people who are recent graduates from university. So our age range, we have one program that's directed to say the 13 to 17-year-olds, and then the 18 and up
Okay.
is a separate mentorship program.
And how do we register? How would somebody register to
You
be a
just
part of?
if you go on theminds.com, you there should be if you scroll down on the page there's a section there that kind of outlines the two programs, and you can just click sign up on either one. If you go to the homepage, click the Minds Up Initiative logo, or yeah, and just scroll down, and you're at the top too. But yeah, so you can just click sign up on either one of those. So that's our Rising Stars program, and if you go back and click on the sign up on the other one, then that now takes you to our platform, because we've kind of built our own platform from the ground up to facilitate connections between minds and mentees as well.
By we, he means he.
Nah,
Dr. Ricketts, who is also a computer scientist, built the platform.
no, and not just me, man. I had help. I had help.
All right, but so you can join as a mind, which is like the student, or you can join as a mentee, and I'm proud to say I'm a mentee.
You get that
backwards,
backwards here. You are a mind of the mentor.
Sorry, I'm a mind.
Yes, mentees are the students.
I'm not this morning. I am not. The mind is not there. So yes, I'm a mind. So you can join as a mind, or which is a mentor, or you can join as a mentee. Is there a cost involved?
No.
Okay.
No. So we really wanted to really push, and we're actively looking for new partnerships and sponsorships to help us continue to provide this as a free platform.
Okay.
So if anybody out there listening and interested in working with us, feel free to reach out. Camir at theminds.com.
All right. and Jody, how can persons in Jamaica who are interested in the Bloom project
sign up or register to be
sign up, or
They will sign up directly on the site that you just showed, and there is an apply button or register or sign up button, and they'll click on it and it will take them to a form, and they will just have to fill out all of the details accurately.
Okay, let's bring that back up so you can show us. Okay, so we apply, so it's something that we have to apply for.
Yes.
Okay, so you apply,
and
then it takes you to, are you seeing the screen?
No, we're still on the point.
Yeah, hold on. Let me switch. So you apply, and then it takes you to another screen where you
input your information.
Right. Okay. So are these two things a requisite? Like the GitHub, do you have to already have a GitHub profile, or suppose you're not already creating in tech, or are you only looking for persons who are creating these kinds of pieces of software, etc.?
That's a good question. We're looking for people who already know how to code. And so if they already know how to code, usually they have a GitHub. If they know how to code and they don't have a GitHub, then it's not a hard requirement. But usually for people who do, they'll have one.
Okay. And is there a deadline to when they can apply for this project? Is it an ongoing thing? Does it have a
she answered and said June 30 is the application deadline, and it's going to start in August.
Okay. So Jamaicans can apply, you say, and if we apply from here, how does it work? Is that it's an online thing? You meet weekly? How does the program work?
Very good question. So yes, it's going to be virtual. It's going to be an intensive program. A lot of the work is going to be done outside of the program. So there are 4 hours a week that's mandatory. So they'll have to be meeting with their mentors, both the technical one and the non-technical mentor. And then they'll be attending a workshop. Usually it's going to be on the business side of things, like thinking through how they're going to solve the solution, thinking through user research, thinking through managing their productivity. So they'll be attending these workshops every week. And at the same time, each week they'll be adding a new feature to whatever it is that they decide to create. And so they'll meet with the wider group where they share updates on their progress. And so that's going to be mandatory each week. And outside of that, then they will have to be working on the solution itself.
And what's the end goal for the project?
The end goal is, one, you're taking an idea that you want to work on, and at the end of it, you want to have an MVP. What we're looking at is having something for afterwards. Say you do create something and you have an MVP and you want to take it to the next level. We're exploring ways of how we could help folks who go through the program to do that currently. But the end goal is to have the MVP, to have something that you can either, one, choose to work on in the future or add to your tech portfolio.
Okay. So it's a way of helping them build their portfolio as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
absolutely.
that's amazing. That's awesome. That's awesome. I remember in a conversation we had with Joel Dean. He said that, you know, in his free time when nothing was happening, he built these different kind of projects and put them out there, and it was through
put them on GitHub.
Yeah, he attracted opportunities for himself, and we hear that story over and over again. That if you build it and you put it out there, you're increasing the chances of attracting, you know, attention from these entities. Guys, we are so proud of you. I mean, you guys are doing amazing things. As I said, you're young, you still have a lot in you, but the fact that you guys have decided to give back to Jamaica and to the Caribbean,
that's it for me.
Yes, that's it for us, right?
Yeah.
We think that's amazing. So guys, if any of you are interested in the Bloom project, please visit techports.com and just click on projects and Bloom project and sign up for that. It's free, right, Jody?
Yes, it's free to participate.
It's a free program. It helps you build your portfolio. You meet people, you meet mentors,
and get mentorship. Like that part is actually invaluable, as well as getting the feedback you need to build the project. You have an infrastructure, a system helping you to build something that was only an idea in your mind, as well as to see, you know, who knows what might happen if you can get some money. If somebody can say, hey, I know a company who is building a system like this, I'm gonna call, because that's how opportunities are made. So absolutely great initiatives, and now we're connected, and so, you know, we'll be having the other conversations about how we can either collaborate or support from our end.
Awesome. And of course, Camir, Dr. Ricketts, the Minds of Initiative has gotten a lot of media attention locally and in the diaspora space. You've been everywhere talking and doing things and recruiting. So right now, what Dr. Ricketts needs is partners, people to come on and give him money. He doesn't need your face unless your face brings money. He needs money. Because the problem I have with some of you people think that because of that name and face, no, bring the money with the name and the face. Thank you. He needs money to continue this program so he can do what he's doing, because children are benefiting. If I had a program like this in high school, because when we in high school, we didn't want to be liar, but they want to be doctor, but they want to be flight attendant, but they want to be so much things, because it was so confusing, and these career fairs also did not help. All that happened was that foreign peoples at the first, listen, these career fairs were the first time I actually saw white people when I went to these career fairs, because they come from the universities overseas confident and go, hey, do you want to come to a university? You can sign up right here. It was the first time I was see white people. They might be calling in school. So we need more programs like this, especially in high schools, to help guide our young people as to what it, not just careers, but
showing them what's possible. Showing them what's possible.
Because everybody academically inclined. Some of us are more leaning towards the creative space. And when I say creative does include tech, because coders are creatives. They're considered creatives, right? So, and the tech space is so diverse. There's so many things that they could be doing. We don't have to force them into molds. And Minds Off is really helping for them to expand their horizons, open access to information more than anything else. So we appreciate that, and we want your money. Thank you.
Yeah, and I just want to make one point, because a lot of people just assume, I guess because I'm in tech or in science and so on, they assume Minds of Initiative is for and one of our flagship programs is in bioinformatics, so they assume like the only students are the only mentees we have is in that. But we have minds, in a variety of areas, right? So we have Sasheen Leng, she's one of our minds. She's a poet, she's a digital marketer, and so on. We have Jamila, who's a musician, and so on. So we've had mentees kind of across the spectrum, not just in science and tech, but in a variety of areas as well.
Variety of areas,
And
then they have me, which I'm
exactly.
not sure why, but hey, come, let's talk about whatever. Okay. I'm just joking. But yeah, man, guys, it's not limited to just tech spaces. It's a general career mentorship program to help young people figure out what is that they want to do, what's available for them, what's possible, how to get about doing it. And talking to somebody who has gone through it before is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Right.
And if you're someone who's interested in being a mind, you want to give back in this way, definitely reach out, because we look in, there are a lot of areas that we don't have represented. We don't have any psychologists, we don't have a chef. There's a lot of places. So I think there are a lot of avenues for us to grow and impact more students.
So we want your mind and we want your money. There you go. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Ricketts. Thank you, Jody, for being on the show. As I said, we are super proud of you guys, and continue being awesome and representing for the culture.
And keep doing what you guys doing for the creative space and digital space in Jamaica.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely, +1.